Okay, this next project that we're going to do is going to be trimming a window. This project, you're going to continue to perfect the use of measuring, cutting, and applying interior trim to this windowsill. The first thing we're going to do here is we have to set the window stops along this piece of the window frame here. Okay. The first thing we're going to do, we need to measure the top stop, and it's 19 3/4 of an inch. You're going to use some of this wood, which we provided to you by the instructor. That's 1.5 inches by 3/4 of an inch. You're going to take your tape measure, and you're going to measure out the 19 3/4 of an inch on your piece. You're going to use the miter box to cut them to the desired length. This operation requires setting the miter box at 90 degrees to the fence. You're going to put your piece of trim in, you're going to put it on the line that you made, and you're going to cut your piece off. In our workstation, we're going to take the first piece that we cut, which is our 19 3/4 inch piece, and we're going to apply it to the underside of the top part of the frame. One way to make things easier for you is to actually start the nails before you put it up there. Don't drive them through and attach to the bench, but you can start a couple of small nails until they're just barely sticking through the board. When I put it up here, as we learned in Project 1, some things are flush. We want this edge flush from the window frame to the jamb stock. Once I get it flush where I want it, hold it firmly and grab my hammer. And attach it. My next two pieces, you're going to cut the same way. You're going to measure to the bottom side of the piece you just installed at 17 1/8. I'm going to take another piece of the same type of wood. I'm going to lay it out, and I'm going to cut it using the miter box saw, and I'm going to apply it, and then I'm also going to do the same process here. We're back at our booth, and we installed the first one. We measured and cut the second piece, and then the third piece, and we nailed them all securely to the window frame. I'm going to go back to the combination square. I want you to loosen the knob and slide the combination square out to 1/4 of an inch. And using your carpenter's pencil, I want you to mark all the corners of the stops. Once I have that done, you're going to use your tape measure again, and you're going to measure from the bottom of the stock, setting right on the window sill, and you're going to measure up to the reveal line on your top window jamb. And that's telling me 17 3/8 of an inch. I could write that down right here so I don't forget it. This will get covered by the window trim. This is the type of window trim that you're going to use. It's 2.5 inch colonial window trim. You're going to ensure that you have a square edge. You can do that by using your combination square and placing your piece of wood on there to ensure that it's 90 degrees. Take your first piece of window trim and lay it alongside your jamb stock, and I want you to make a mark right at that 1/4 inch reveal line that you put up here on the top. Using the combination square and using the back side, you can put this on here and make a line. That will be a 45-degree angle. Inside here we have 90 degrees, and when we bisect that angle, the sum of these two pieces will make our 90-degree outside corner. So I have my length of my piece indicated right here. And once again, I'm going to cut that 45-degree angle using the miter box. Here's our nice clean piece of wood, and it's cut at the 45-degree angle that the length of the reveal mark that we put on using the combination square. Now, I'm going to fasten these on using a couple of 6D finish nails and my hammer. I want you to line up the inside edge, which is the skinny edge, not the fat edge, with the reveal marks that you put on the side jambs. Stop short of driving it home, and you can use your nail set to finish up your nail. Now that we have our left side jamb in place, it's time we have to go and put our top one on. The top one is going to go from the short point of our angle right here, and it's going to come over and it's going to be the same length as the short point to the other side. So I can use my tape measure to measure my short point to short point measurement, which is 18 3/4. Using the same moldings that we used before, I'm going to now go ahead and put a 45-degree angle on one side of my molding. And then use the miter box to cut that off. Measuring from the short point of that angle to the short point to the other, I'm going to cut to have both pieces going in opposite directions. Okay, back at our cut station, I cut my 45-degree angle on the left side. I measured from the short point to the right side, which became the short point of my 45 going the other way. Now all I have to do is attach it using the 6-penny finish nails. Finish our nails with the nail set. And now we're going to measure the right hand side. Okay, back at our cut station again, at our booth again. I've measured from the bottom of the windowsill to the bottom short point of my casing. I've measured that onto my piece, cut it on the miter box at a 45-degree angle, and I check my measurement. It looks pretty good, and I'm going to nail it on with a 6D finish. Finish up with the nail set. The final thing that we have to do is we have to put the apron on. I'm going to measure the outside of the casing from the outside edge to the outside edge, and I come up with 23 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to get another piece of the same casing that I've used for here, and I'm going to, putting the fatter side up, I'm going to cut a 15-degree angle on either side and apply the apron to the bottom. Okay, we're back again. Now I've taken my piece and I've measured it the same width as the outside dimension of my casing. And I've used the miter box again, setting the angle first to the right side and cutting it 15 degrees, and then turning it the other way and cutting the 15 degrees going the opposite way. So this will be the apron. I have the fat side up, the skinny side down, and again I'm going to use some 6-penny finish nails. I want to set this underneath the window so that the long point of my miters are in line with the edge of my casing. And I'm going to apply this using the 6-penny finish nail. And once again, we finish with the nail set. And there's your trimmed window.